Okay, so it's time for another Rate My Tone video. This is episode 2 in the series, and let me just start off by saying huge thanks to everyone for the amazing response we got on the first episode. That was something I just decided to do on a whim, and everyone seemed to really dig it, so we are gonna keep going. Now, if you wanna check out the first episode of Rate My Tone, you can check it out here or in the description box down below. But if you're new here, essentially I reach out to you guys and have you send in clips of you playing at home, on a session, on a gig, and we rate your tone. This time I reached out to you guys on Instagram and had you send in some DMs that you're playing, so we are gonna start with the first submission, which is from Daryl Soloist. All right, so Daryl's post says, channeling my inner Fleetwood Mac while playing the 2 Notes LaClean preamp paired with the Wall of Sound plugin in Logic Pro X. That's cool. So this is going to be like a DI guitar kind of sound or an amp modeling kind of sound. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, very Fleetwood Mac-esque. I can see that. Okay. Yeah, I like that Strat tone. Also nice framing in the video, I like that. Some nice guitar minis there. Okay, this is really well done. I like this a lot. So first of all, the Strat tone itself through that LaClean, that modeling preamp pedal there, is really nice. It's a clean tone, but if you actually really dial in close and listen to it, you can tell there's a little bit of overdrive there. There's some saturation, which is really important when it comes to tracking guitar for mix like this. Clean tones can sound really great when you're playing by yourself or even in the context of some mixes, but when you've got something like this going on where there's a lot of instrumentation, there's an acoustic guitar, there's drums and bass and keys, you want a little distortion, a little saturation on your sound just to help the guitar cut through. I also like how he layered the different guitar parts in there. Even though he's using a Strat, the same guitar for everything, they all kind of occupy a different space. Everything sort of has its own lane. The parts aren't stepping on each other. I love the guitar mini part, the arrangement, the chord progression is really great. The only critique I have here is actually not the electric, it's the acoustic. The acoustic sound to me was really bright and a little shrill. There's a few things that you can do about that when you're recording. If you're recording with a mic, try moving the mic a little closer to the actual body of the guitar or where the neck meets the body. I feel like I was hearing a lot of the string noise, and since you were capoed up, you're getting a lot of that top-end brilliance. And also maybe bring the acoustic down in the mix a little bit overall. Anytime you're miking up an acoustic instrument, whether it's a guitar or drums or piano, it's good to kind of experiment with your mic placement to see what sounds best and what you're going for. And that's what I suggest you do here. Spend some more time getting a little bit more balanced acoustic guitar sound. But otherwise, this is really solid. Great playing, great arrangement, great tone. I'm gonna give this 8 out of 10 landslides that brought me down. All right, next up we've got Davi Quieros, who submitted a cover of my solo from Hell or High Water, which is actually really flattering. So let's see what it sounds like. Yeah. Nice, man. Oh. Well, dude, I should have done that on the solo. That's a way cooler way to end it than what I did. So first of all, the tone, I think you've got pretty close. I'm trying to remember what I actually used to record it, because we recorded it almost 2 years ago now, but I believe it was my Les Paul, straight into my Tweed Deluxe, and the Tweed was dime. So it's that super mid-rangey Tweed amp distortion kind of thing, and I think from what I'm hearing here on this video, you've gotten pretty close. Interestingly though, it looks like he tuned his guitar up a half step, so we actually play this song in B flat, and my solo is in B flat major, so I always just capo up on the first fret, but it looks like Davi tuned up a half step, which is a cool choice. The only real note I have here, the critique, is this last phrase here at the end, that there's an easier way to play it, I think, than what I saw in the video, which is just to bar your first finger here on the 15th fret and hammer on between the 4th and 3rd string. So you get this kind of sound here. The key to that lick for me is having this interval here ringing out at the same time, and you get that from barring those 2 strings. It's also easier to play that way because you're doing less movement between the 1st and 3rd finger. But overall, man, great solo. I really appreciate it when people post covers of this solo. It makes me feel good, actually, that people cover it. So I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 Novo Ceres J's. All right, our next submission came in on Instagram from Andrew Lynch. Let's see what he's got to say. I love this solo. Wow. Man. Okay, I think Andrew has pretty well nailed this tone here. To me, Neil Sean's solo from Who's Crying Now is an example of a perfect guitar solo. There's nothing about that solo that could change to make it better or fit the song better. And Andrew's cover of it, I think, is pretty spot on. The tone is right, the reverb is right, the feel is right, the phrasing, where he's playing on the neck, I think is all right. I don't really see anything to critique here. Maybe his tone is a touch brighter than Neil Sean's sound on the record. You might try rolling off the tone on the bridge pickup just a bit more to get a little softer and smoother sound overall, but it's a tricky balance because you don't want to roll it off so much that you lose that pick attack. So if you listen to the record, you can tell that Neil's on his bridge pickup because you're getting that nice chirp from the pick and that nice transient attack, but it's rolled off and it's smooth. So you get this kind of like... But even there, my tone wasn't quite right. This is actually a pretty difficult one to nail down, but I think Andrew did an incredible job. So I'm gonna give him 9.5 Midnight Trains Going Anywhere. Okay, so next up on the list, we got another submission on Instagram from Christian Torres. So let's check out what he's got to say. I like the Duesenberg. Cool fuzz tone too. Okay, nice. So there's a couple things going on here that I really dig. First of all, the tone, the neck pickup tone, I think is really nice. Nice amp overdrive kind of sound. And then when he switches to the bridge pickup, the whatever fuzz he's using, I think works really well with that Duesenberg. And I also like the delay sound. It sounds like an analog Bucket Brigade style delay repeat. But there's one thing I want to point out here, which is using your delay in time with what you're playing to become part of the sound or part of the part, so to speak. So here on the AxeFx, I've got a dotted eighth delay dialed up here, and I'll show you what I mean. If we play a similar part to what he was playing here, we get this kind of sound. And if you notice in there, I've got the delay repeats in time with what I'm playing, and I'm playing off of those delay repeats. They're kind of interacting with my part. So what I'm doing is in the right hand, I'm muting to keep the note duration shorter to let those delay repeats bounce back so you can actually hear them. Another good example of this is Run Like Hell, what David Gilmour played on Run Like Hell. Dotted delay is one of my favorite things to use, and it's a good tool to practice with too, because if you have the tempo set on your delay, it's almost acting as a metronome that you're playing off of, a metronome that becomes part of your instrument. And you can do some really interesting parts with it. It can be an interesting tool to practice playing in time and work on your soloing and your phrasing and lick ideas. I think it's really cool. But overall, I like the tone. I like the fuzz tone. I'm gonna give this one 6.5 out of 10 hands that feel just like balloons. All right, this submission came in from Stu, whose band named Jones Car Wash is playing in a parking garage. So let's check this out. Oh yeah. Okay, I love the fact that you guys did this in a parking deck. I'm assuming all that reverb is coming from the space, which is really cool. Also, props for the single cut Les Paul Special. Really nice phrasing there, man. That's, first of all, the tone. You had me with the double P90 Les Paul Special. I love the concept too, the trio playing in the parking deck. The video is shot incredibly well. I'd love to hear more of your band. The phrasing is really nice. It's simple and to the point. I love that you stayed on the neck pickup the whole time. Your tone is really, really nice. It's complementing that ensemble really well. It's warm, but it still cuts through. That is my type of guitar tone right there. Really, really nice. Also, really nice dynamic in the solo. You don't really overplay very much, which I appreciate. And you start in a lower register and work your way up to a big climax, which I really appreciate, man. This is really great playing. Tasty tone. I love the concept. Your band sounds great. To me, this was great. Ticks all the boxes. And this is what I love about making these videos now is you guys are great players with really great tone. The audience, the people that watch these videos, it's awesome. So I'm gonna give this one our first 10 out of 10 rating. This gets 10 out of 10 Rolls Royces. And if you're not familiar with that reference, it's because they're car wash, Jones Car Wash, working at the car wash. You'll figure it out. So there you go, everyone. That's Rate My Tone episode 2. Thank you so much to everyone that submitted. Be sure to show them some love in the comments section down below. And if you want to get in on the next episode of Rate My Tone, be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Rhett Shull. That's probably where I'll do the next announcement to submit your videos. If you want to support the channel, you can check out my video courses linked in the description box down below. That's the Tone course, the Nashville Number System course, and the Fretboard Fundamentals course. Once again, thanks everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Rhett Shull, and remember, there is no plan B.